Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to do a quick video um, about CNA life. Let's see, what can we talk about this morning? Let's see. Let's talk about salaries. CNA salary in Tennessee right now, or this area of Tennessee. Most of the facilities, if you've got, I guess, anywhere from 10 to 15 years experience, 15 part-timers, is what they're starting. Well, the two facilities or three facilities, or 3 or 4 facilities I've dealt with, that's what they start me out at. It's $15 an hour at part time. Some of the full time workers are getting more than that. They're getting like um, $17 to $18 an hour, and my hat's off to them. Now, what's the most that you can make as a CNA in this area? Just working the no overtime. I'd say anywhere from 25 to 35,000 a year. Um, you're almost always going to probably get in a little overtime because um, a lot of times you'll pick up hours here and there, or get asked to pick up hours by your staffing coordinator or DON. Um, 2019 was a good year for me financially as a CNA, and I haven't made that kind of money since because I just hadn't worked all those hours. Um, I was working 3 shifts, 12-hour shifts at my home base nursing home, and 3 12-hour shifts at another nursing home. And I don't advise anybody to do that. I don't advise you to do that. Your body is just, you're gonna break it down. And these were all day shifts, all day shifts. But I was bringing home almost $4,000 a month, about $4,000 a month. If you round it off, yeah, every bit of it, but at least 4,000 a month working like that in 2019. And that year, when I filed taxes for that year, I think I topped out at like 50 something thousand. I think it might have been almost 52,000 that year, somewhere in the ballpark, 50 to 52,000. But like I said, I worked my tail off to do it, and I don't advise that. Not on the day shift. I don't advise working 6 12-hour shifts in a 7-day period. Um, and again, that year, staffing coordinator, she said I think I was still working part time there, or working just Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And the staffing coordinator at that time, I was full time regardless. But she had set me up where I could have Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Okay, she wanted to bring me on the rotation. Okay, that's when the problem started. She talked me into quitting my other job at the other nursing home. Again, that's a no-no too. You never let them talk you into quitting nothing. Uh, that's where they want to have control over your life. Okay, I did that. I quit. Started working full time at my base nursing home. The schedule that we had was so compromising that year, um, and the year after. Um, we would work one weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Wait a minute, yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the whole weekend. Instead of letting us off 2 days, we would be off one whole day, which would be that Monday, and come back and work a half shift that Tuesday. Um, You work that half shift, you would either be scheduled to work that morning from 6 to 12 or 12 to 6. It's according to what week you fall in. Um, that's not good, especially when you work 3 12-hour shifts and you're just getting one day off and you're working 3 more days. Keep in mind that one of the shifts is going to be a half shift, but you're not getting that 2 days rest that you really need after working all weekend. And we did this for a long while, and that was the benefit of having the next weekend off, 3 days. You'd have 3 days off. And after working that for a while, you're going to be tired. You're not going to feel like picking up no more hours or anything. You're pretty much going to be stuck in a rut. And you're just working for your life is centered around the job and your money's limited. And of course, I would pick up overtime here and there, but most of the time I didn't because I didn't feel like it. So my checks and my money was just low, and it was rough. But anyway, I did that, worked that shift like that from 2019. I think about October 2019 that's when we went 12-hour shifts, but all of 2020 I worked like that. In about April of 2021, I just got fed up because I wanted to go part time, and the staffing coordinator did not. She said I had to give a month's notice to do that, go PRN a part time, because it was just killing me to work the way we was working. So I actually, again, I left. I just got fed up and I left. I stayed gone about 4 months. I did factory work for about 4 months through the temp service. It was it was a break, and I worked 8-hour shifts. Um, the salary was, not as good as it was when I was working. I was making less than what I was making at the nursing home because, I'm living in rural Tennessee and in small town. There's not many opportunities for us jobs. Uh, where you gonna go in there making bukus of money? You gotta put in some time. Um, it was just stressful in that, you know, there was drawbacks with that too. And then maybe in the CNA and doing that work as long as I just wanted to go back. I guess it's a curse and a blessing. I just been doing that, and I wanted to continue to do that work, and I just miss the nursing home and miss, that environment. And that's what I've been doing, you know, mainly that type of work since '09. I hadn't quit doing it in some form or fashion. I was doing it through either home health or nursing home. I mean, taking care of people. That's what I do. And so I saw on Indeed where they had a Weekend Warrior program. And that was like, I'd say the end of July, August of, it was some part of end of July. I think I applied for it, and the staffing coordinator, and I think it was on a Sunday, and the staffing coordinator, she hit me back up on a Sunday, and I think within that week, I was working again that next weekend. I did all my orientating and everything I had to do, to get back in there. Still had the same clock number. Matter of fact, I've had the same clock number since I got hired in at the sister facility back in, it wasn't 2014, it's 2015, because they went to a different, somewhere between 2012 and 2015, they went to a different clock-in system. So when I started at the facility in 2015 in Jackson, um, I was given that clock number. And so since 2015, I've had the same clock number that I have now. When I quit or whatever, and go back, they give that. I just continue on with the same clock number. So I've had that clock number. Um, I guess this is year 7 with the same clock number. But anyway, I went back, and that's when I started doing the weekends. And again, I was working, and I picked up some part-time hours at another facility. And again, I was working 412s on the day shift. It's rough working all those day shifts. So if you possibly can, if you're older, I don't know. After a while, it's really a lot of wear and tear on that back and body. So I don't advise anybody to do that a long time. For CNA work in general, if you do it a long time, it's a lot of wear and tear on you and your body. But we have to do what we have to do to make a living. And if you're young and you become a CNA, get you a few years of experience, year, 6 months, year to 6 months, even 2 years as a CNA. Then if you want to, become an LPN. At one time I thought I wanted to be an LPN, but I don't think it's uh, something that I would want to do. Um, or it's just not for me. I don't like handling people's medications for one thing. And yeah, they make good money. I mean, um, I think they start out at 16 an hour just straight out of vocational school. And it's one of the best vocational trainings you can get and come out making good money with no experience. And here recently, in the last few years, they've added CNA to some schools or certified nursing assistant, and they've added it as a vocational uh, program. Of course, starting out you may not make as much, and then some facilities are recognizing that the importance of having CNAs there, and they're starting to pay them better. Now Mississippi, some of their facilities are a little behind on time, so I have worked in the facilities in Mississippi, and I think in 2018, even to this day, you're still starting out, even with all the experience. They wanted to give me $10.10 an hour to work. I think I lasted about a month with them because I got my first check and it was like, dang, it was so small. I had to have a magnifying glass just to see the amount. I mean, that it was full-time hours with part-time pay. Basically, is what it was. So, um, but Tennessee, in this area in Tennessee, most of the facilities are coming on board. Like I said, this is the West Tennessee area, and they're paying better. If you've got, I know I don't get no less than everywhere I go up apply. I don't get no less than 15 an hour. Which some people say that's not much, but if you work the right hours and not and you still and you don't have to overwork yourself to make a decent living with that amount of money. Uh, but I don't knock anybody that wants to go full time at one facility. I've just learned my lessons about going full time at one facility. Every time I go full time at one facility, I don't know the word to use, but I guess you're done for as far as your time. You can get overtime, but you're going to end up having to work all of your off days just to get the overtime. Most of the time, you're going to end up, or either you can put some time in extra on the other shifts after your 12-hour shift. Most of the time, after you're working 12, you're not going to feel like putting in an extra 3 or 4 hours. That's just me. But some people do. Or if you like to have your time off, you're not going to work every week your time off. You want to enjoy those 1 day, 2 day, 3 days off. Used to, all I would do is sleep that Friday, the first Friday that I had off in 2 weeks. I would just sleep all day. And then that Saturday, I'd try to get some housework done. Sunday, I'd finish up what I didn't do on Saturday. Then Monday, you're back in the rut again. But there's each and their own on that. But yeah, salary as far as CNA, you can make it work. Um, but if you can better yourself, do that too. I don't knock anybody for that. And then CNA is not for everybody. It's just not. Being a CNA, that's one of the lowest positions, I guess you could, besides the housekeepers. They don't make much in nursing homes. They make less than us, and then they don't get the raises that we get. Um, they're really devalued in the nursing home setting, and the cooks too. And it's no wonder that some nursing homes are dirty because of the way the housekeeping staffs are treated, as far as their pay. Um, and that's not right. It's really not right. But anyway, that's my advice as far as how to make this work for you and as a CNA and what you can make. Now, myself, I like to get in at least 48 hours per week, and that gives me a decent salary. Um, 48 to 50 hours a week is good, no more than that. I'm not greedy. I just want enough to make it on and have some money left, to live on or to say put back, just money to put back. Oh, and you can have money to put back if you make the right choices as far as your management of your time, your money, or, everybody's expenses are different. But anyway, you don't, as far as a CNA, you can make it. And like I said, I live in an area where there's not a whole lot of opportunities. We have a few factories. Most of the jobs are factory work, retail, and fast food. And most of the private owned sit down, like dining places, is owned by private families. I never go sit and eat there. But anyway, there's just not a whole lot of choices as far as work. And with what I've been given as far as the options of work, I've made the CNA life work for me. And you can too. And I hope everyone has a blessed day or night, just whatever time it is that you saw this video. Okay, bye for now.